Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach Kwadash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and blessings to the hopeful elect out there, fighting the good fight of faith, listening and learning, and also teaching this word in all sincerity and truth, in the hopes that we may edify, the sincere hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs, of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And Lord willing, in this lesson I aim to edify you in the spirit, which the word edify means to build, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, going into a bit of Daniel, the 7th chapter, which is one of my favorite breakdowns. The spirit, I believe, opened my mind to receive, very, very well, and it makes sense to me. And I just find it very historical, very factual, and certain names of ancient heathen kings that, once ruled are actually mentioned in the Bible, which further proves the validity of the Bible. For those of you out there that talking about it's a white man's book and this and that, you scoffers and scorners, what you're going to find out is that, if the spirit is not dealing with you, you ain't going to understand, the mystery, because you have to understand the history, and you have to actually believe that the biblical history is accurate, because without faith mixed with the word, the word ain't going to profit you. So I'm going to go ahead and get Hebrews chapter 4 and 2 on that point that I just made. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, which the word gospel means good news. All right. As well as unto them. And the only ones really that are getting good news are the Israelites. Okay. Starting with the elect, because these other nations, man, they're just going to get their ass whooped. For the conspiracy that they have against the children of Israel, like the scriptures speak about, all that pass by, clap their hands at thee. Lamentations 2 and 15 is one of them. Psalms, the 83rd chapter, goes into how our enemies make a tumult. They're in confederacy against us. So the Lord is pretty much, bringing this coalition down, or this arrangement, among the heathens, to come up against us and surround us. He's bringing that down in these last days, and it's led by the wicked. It's led by Esau. This is this man's kingdom. All right, and the Esau, the scripture says the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. We're in a time now where the wicked is being brought down out of their rulership, and we're seeing the signs of the times. We're seeing the division in this man's kingdom. We're seeing the signs, or biblical prophecy, or prophetic signs, to identify that this man's kingdom is going down. All right, whether it be wars, rumors of wars. You just had a defense pact that got signed between Russia and North Korea. All right, you got these small hats over there in the so-called Middle East going buck wild crazy on them Palestinians over there. And the small hats allied with America, and you see intentions, right? So that's that wars and rumors of wars. What's going on with Russia and Ukraine? Wars and rumors of wars. NATO and the EU, pretty much, poking the bear representing Russia. That's wars and rumors of wars. And we're in a time where the weak are saying that they're strong. These so-called weaker nations, they're standing up to the big bad bully known as America. All right. Which is also known as Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the great city in the scriptures is America, which will be burnt with thermonuclear destruction. All right, but that's another lesson for another time. And right now, I just wanted to focus on Daniel the 7th chapter. So let's go into it and finish reading off Hebrews 4 here. It says, for unto us, Hebrews chapter 4 verse 2, for unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So this word has to be mixed with faith. And if it's not mixed with faith, you're not going to understand it. All right. Let me get another precept real quick. Matthew 13 and 9. It says, who have ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So this truth is not given to everyone to understand. All right, excuse me, give me a second. Right. So yeah, this truth is not simply not given to everyone to understand. All right, because it's a mystery. Okay, and the word mystery, let's go into that word mystery real quick and see what we can bring up on that. Should be mysterion, if I'm not, haven't gone into this one in a minute yet, in the Greek. So the Greek word for mystery is mysterion, and it says hidden thing, secret, mystery. Oh, that reminds me of Amos 3 and 7. Okay. Okay, let's get it. It says, surely the Lord Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. All right, and what's the prophet's job? They're the mouthpiece of the Lord. And before, kingdoms, were taken down, destroyed, the Lord always raised up his prophets to prophesy against those kingdoms. All right, and I'm going to get Jeremiah 28 and 8, and then we can jump into the lesson. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And all these previous kingdoms that existed before this one that we're in now, the kingdom of Esau, Edom, the wicked, this wicked ass empire, the second leg of the Roman Empire, pretty much, which we're in right now, they all had a beginning and they had an end, and it's going to be no different for this man's kingdom. All right, and we're in a time now where, like the prophecies state that Esau, which is the wicked, they're at the, they have to change, or we're in a time of the changing of the guard, so to speak. Okay, let's go into it. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right, which is symbolic of, pretty much, Jacob, pretty much pulling down Esau out of his rulership seat, because that's exactly what's going to happen, Esau's kingdom, like the scripture says in Daniel 7 and 18, that the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and shall possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And we're coming to that time, and it's fast approaching. And these devils are trying to upset prophecy. They're trying to play the Most High. They want to get these people chipped, but they don't even seem to realize that even coming out with the chip, that's even prophetic in itself. The mark of the beast is spoken of and prophesied about. That's a part of the vision, which is for an appointed time. That there's going to be a time where Esau is going to come out and cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that charagma, which is the chip. All right, that's why they be constantly flirting, the idea, or with the idea of the brain chip implants, or the convenience of, doing away with cash, and card payments only. And soon that technology, that RFID/NFC over here in Europe, will be put inside your body. And that's why the scripture says that no man might buy or sell. So when Esau goes to do that, this is when this is going to happen. All right. And that's, you can find that in Job, the 20th chapter. See, I'm kind of like, see, the spirit is just, but it's, that's how it goes. Anyway, 2 Ezra 6 and 9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And there's no, there's nothing that can change, that prophecy right there. The fact that Esau is the one that's ruling in these last days. All right. And that's why the scripture says in Proverbs 29 and 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Because in our kingdom, like the scripture says, there's going to be war no more. But in this man's kingdom, there's nothing but wars on the earth. There's nothing but uproars of the people. There's nothing but misery, death, confusion. All right. So this man has to go. Like one of the brothers shared in the chat earlier, that we have over here in the UK, that there's now microplastics being found in penises in men. You know, so you know, this man has got to go, man. You know, so yeah, that's it. So Esau is the end of the world. All right. In fact, that statement that I made, this man's got to go. Let's get a Sirach 10 and 4. It says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. All right, and this is what you're going to find out when we go into Daniel chapter 7. You're going to find out how the power of the earth exactly is in the hand of the Lord, and how, you know, he pretty much gives rulership to who he wills on the earth for a certain time period. Okay, and you know, these heathens have had their time to rule. All right, and now it's you know, it's time for us, you know, to be on the top. All right, because that's the movie of the Most High. All right, this is the way the Lord wrote the script, and this is how exactly it's going to play out. It says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set up over it one that is profitable, because this man is not profitable for the earth. And when I say this man, I'm talking about those who are currently in rulership over the earth, the wicked. All right, which is Esau, Edom, that fucking warped ass nation. All right, that pretty much is responsible for these microplastics, responsible for forever chemicals. All right, chemtrails and you know, beyond meat and all, chopping down all these trees and so on and so forth. You know, whales beaching themselves, and all kinds of stuff, and the list goes on and on. All right, this place is polluted. That's why the scripture says in Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart. All right, arise ye and depart. Micah chapter 2, I believe it's 2:10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. All right, so this place is done. And anyone that wants to trust in this man's kingdom, this wicked ass, warped ass society, this upside down, back to front reality that, you know, we're living in right now, this bizarro realm, you know, pretty much you need your head examined if you want to stay here. You know, and through the pride of Esau, you know, they believe that their kingdom is just going to continue, and that's why they're trying to play the Most High. You know, and they're drunk off their technology, which has been given to them by the Most High, and there's going to come a time where the Lord is going to stump them, or, you know, put a roadblock on their kingdom. All right, so let's go into Daniel the 7th chapter now. All right, so this is the vision of the 4 beasts. Okay, in Daniel the 7th chapter. So this is verse 1. Okay, so it says, in the first year of Belshazzar, the king of Babylon. So these, you know, the vision of the 4 beasts. All right, and to let you know what these 4 beasts are, which were going to be basically 4 major kingdoms that were going to rule on the earth. All right, so this is a part of biblical prophecy. All right, and now we're living in a time of the second leg of the Roman Empire, which we're going to get into. But to find out about these beasts, let's get verse 17 real quick. It says, Daniel 7 and 17. It says, these great beasts which are 4 are 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth. So 4 kings. All right. So these kingdoms, all right, these heathen kingdoms, likened unto beasts as well. All right. So these heathens are of a beastly nature. All right, it says, verse 1, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. And he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. And then Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. Now, you know, that great sea, I believe, during that time, because Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Mesopotamia, that region, that great sea was the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, you could pull up a map and see it for yourself. It says, and 4 great beasts came up out from the sea, diverse one from another. And the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. All right, so the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. This is talking about, you know, the Assyrians. All right, which then later on the Babylonians came and absorbed the Assyrian empire. All right, and when you look up and the elder apostle Ramla was going into this as well. When you look up the you know, the Assyrian how can I say, not architecture, but art, you know, you will see how they have drawings of exactly what we're reading in Daniel the 7th chapter. You know, the first beast being like unto a lion with eagle's wings. All right. And there's something known as the griffin, which I actually have. What was it? The griffin. Did I save the tab? Let me see if I saved the tab. The griffin. All right. Here you go. Griffin. Mesopotamia. All right. It says griffin-like animals were depicted on cylinder seals in Mesopotamia. Perhaps as early as the Uruk period, 4000 3100 BC, and subsequent Proto-Elamite period. Example of a winged lion with beaks. Dates to the 4th millennium. And is a unique example of griffin-like animal with a lion's mane. It says what the Sumerians of the early dynastic period portrayed instead were winged lions and the lion-headed eagle. All right, you see that? So that's just to hit the point right there. You know, the lion-headed eagle. All right, and it's under the tab of Mesopotamia, which is that's basically Babylon. Okay, so in fact, now what I'm gonna do is, because I had another tab, but I don't know where it's gone now. Here you go, Griffin, Assyrian. That's what I typed in, Griffin, Assyrian. And like I said, if you look at their art, you see how they depict, you know, the lion. Man. 1 second, excuse me. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up? I'm kind of busy. What's up? Yeah. Right, okay, yeah, just get whatever, you know, just chicken or something. Yeah, no, it's fine, yeah? Alright, bye. Right, yeah, so, excuse me, so yeah, how you can see the griffin, Assyrian, the art during the Assyrian period, and you can see, like, the lion's body with, like, eagle's wings. All right, which is exactly what's spoken of the first beast. All right, the first, let's go back to verse 4. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. And I beheld to the wings thereof were plucked. And this wings being plucked, that's where the moment when the Babylonians absorbed the Assyrian Empire. Okay, and it was lifted up from the earth. Okay, because it was a great empire. That's why, it, you know, pretty much Daniel described, you know, well, let's keep reading. It says, and made a man stand up on the feet as upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it, and that man's heart represents Nebuchadnezzar, all right, which was the greatest king of Babylon, all right, and that's why Daniel pretty much described, you know, the head of gold in Daniel the 2nd chapter, all right, and that was the Babylonian empire, all right, dealing with Nebuchadnezzar's dream. All right, so let's keep going now. It says, and behold, another beast, a second like unto a bear. All right, and it raised itself up on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth. Now, this other beast is talking about the Medo-Persian Empire. Okay, that came up after, you know, the Babylonian Empire. Because if you know anything about history, and I think you had, was it Darius the Mede? Because remember, you had the Medes and the Persians, but then the Persians became stronger, you know, than the Medes. Okay. And when it says, and raise itself up on one side, that means that one was going to become greater than the other, meaning the Persians were going to come stronger than the Medes. All right. And it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And that 3 ribs represent the 3 regions where, you know, the Medo-Persian Empire conquered. All right, and it's also in reference to the direction of how they, or where they conquered as well. And I have a map here, if I still have it. I hope I didn't lose it, man. Ancient Babylon map. No. This might be the tab. Right, yeah, so here you go. Now you know, you see it says Media, but the Medes and the Persians, so the Persians became stronger than the Medes, but they came from this direction over here, the east. All right, and then they conquered this region here. So the three ribs would be representing as Lydia, all right, and Mesopotamia, as you can see, which is Babylon. That region there, which would be today as modern day Iraq, all right, and also Egypt, all right, down here, and that's where the that beast went to conquer the Medo-Persian Empire, all right. So the three ribs represent Lydia, Egypt, and Mesopotamia or Babylon, okay, because remember it came up after the fall of the Babylonian Empire. All right, so they took over next. So this was the second beast. So we're reading in order, okay? And this is and this is another thing before I forget it. Let me get Daniel 4. Set up 1. Let me see if I can get that one. Leave Daniel 4 for later. All right, this is Psalm 75 and 7. It says, "But Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another." All right, so the Most High, like he's the one. In fact, let me start from verse 6, sorry. 5. "Lift up not your horn on high. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south." All right. So pretty much don't be proud, And you got Esau right now. He's popping his shit because of his technology. He's being hella proud, trying to play the Most High. But he doesn't even understand that promotion don't come from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. So, your kingdom can only go as so far as the Lord will allow it to go. All right. And we're here, the prophets are here these last days to tell you that you're on your last legs in your own kingdom. All right. And that's why I read Jeremiah 28 and 8. That the prophets that have been before me, before the of old, prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. All right, we're here to tell you that, the Most High is the one that puts down a kingdom and sets up another. All right, so let's go back to, verse 5. "And behold, another beast, a second like unto a bear, and it had raised itself up on one side." All right, the Persians became greater than the Medes. All right, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. All right, which represented what? Lydia, Babylon, and Egypt. And they said thus unto it, "Arise, devour much flesh." Why? Because pretty much the Persian Empire was a vast empire, and I believe they had like 127 provinces. All right, more states than the United States of America has today. All right, so that was a vast empire indeed. All right, and they even show you that in the movie 300. "Our arrows shall blot out the sun." They had something called the Persian Immortals as well. Okay, Immortals. Their army was very, very vast. Okay. Right, he said the 10,000 immortals were the elite force of the Persian army of the Achaemenid Empire. They formed the king's personal bodyguard and were also considered to shock troops of the infantry in Persian warfare. They are among the most famous fighting forces of the ancient world. All right, so this is a very, very vast empire, man. All right, and that's why when it says "Arise, devour much flesh," the provinces that they acquired or that they had, and how vast their empire was. And it was pretty much considered like you were nuts to even consider going up against the Persian Empire. But again, as we just read in Psalm 75, promotion don't come from the east or the south or the west. The Most High is the judge. He puts down one and setteth up another. All right, and prophetically speaking, there was going to be another one that was going to come and take down the Persians, and that was going to be the king of Grecia, which we're going to go into next, which is Alexander the Greek. All right, so it says, verse 6, "And after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard." All right, and the leopard is known for its swiftness. All right, because Alexander the Greek, pretty much he conquered at such speed, because pretty much it was prophesied that he was going to be the next to conquer. And unite the city states of Grecia or Greece. All right, and you can read about this history and how we know that it's talking about Alexander. The scriptures mention the king of Grecia in Daniel the 11th chapter. All right, let me go and get you that. Let's go. And also we can hold First Maccabees 1 as well. All right, now this is where pretty much the Edomites their bravado came from. All right, because the Greeks, all right, they are the Greek Empire consisted of the Edomite rulership. Okay, and pretty much they are known as the wicked, and this is why they say that civilization started with the Greeks. Okay, so let's go to First Maccabees 1:1 first, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian. So see what I was saying earlier, how the Bible actually mentions actual historical names of men that ruled, and it names them by name, and it's in the scriptures. This is history. All right, so if this is made up, why are these names actually mentioned? And you can do this research for yourself. You can just pull it up and fact check it, and type in these names. Did Alexander, the son of Philip? In fact, let's do it right now, and I'm going to show you this. Alexander's father. Right? Let's just type in Alexander's father. Right? Alexander, Philip the second of Macedon. That's his father. Alexander the Great, his father was Philip the second of Macedon. What are we reading in the Bible? Okay. So it happened that after Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim. Kittim goes back to Cyprus. And had smitten Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes. You see that? All right, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. All right, the first over Greece. Now keep that in mind. Now we go to Daniel's 11 and 1. It says, also I in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and strengthen him. And now I will show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the 4th shall be far richer than they all. And these 3 kings in Persia, I believe, goes back to Cambyses. Is it Cambyses II? Bardia, Darius, and Xerxes. All right. In fact, let me check that. Make sure that I've got it on point, because I don't want to. Yeah, Cambyses II. Okay, around 530 BC to 522 BC. And then you had Badia, Darius the Great, I believe. And then you had the 4th, richest of them all, which is Xerxes. All right, around 465 BC. All right. So that's the 4th that was far richer than they all. That was talking about Xerxes. So that will be the 3 kings and the 4th. So that's all 4 of them. And by his strength and through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. And a mighty king shall stand up that shall rule with great dominion according to his will. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken and divided to the 4 winds of heaven. All right, now I'm kind of jumping the gun. So I'm going to leave verse 4 here in Daniel 11. And I'm going to jump back to Daniel 7 and 6. It says, and after this I behold, and lo, like a leopard, another like a leopard, which had on the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. So you see in this pattern of the 4 wings of the fowl represented the 4 generals that came up after Alexander, had kicked the bucket, basically, had passed. Okay. And the beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it. Yes, so the 4 wings of a fowl, the 4 heads represent what Alexander the Creep's 4 generals, all right, which were Lacenaeus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Seleucus. All right, and you also had another. I think there was another 2. I think the one I can remember off my top of my head is Antigonus, but the 4 main ones was the first 4 that I just mentioned: Seleucus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Lacenaeus. Okay, so that would be the 4 heads or the 4 wings of a fowl. Let's go back to Daniel 11 and 4. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken and shall be divided toward the 4 winds of heaven. All right, and not to his posterity, not according nor according to his dominion, which he ruled, for his kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others beside those. All right. So pretty much those 4 generals, but it says not to his posterity. All right. Meaning it wasn't going to go to his offspring. All right. When you look up the word posterity, let's see what this says here. Posterity. Following after. So what I'm going to do is not really giving me much there. In fact, do they have another route? Let me see if I can go more to there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in posterity, or what I could do is look up the definition, do a web search on posterity and see what comes up. Alright, posterity, all future generations of people are the descendants of a person. Alright, so it wasn't left to Alexander the Greek's descendants, it was left to his 4 generals, the 4 notable wings, alright, or the 4 wings of a fowl, okay, or the 4 winds, and it was divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, yeah, because his kingdom got broken up, alright, to the 4 generals. So let's go back to Daniel 7 and 6. And I beheld lo, another like a leopard. And I believe Alexander the Creep, I think he actually coated his horse with like a leopard print, or there was something to do with Alexander. He wore a leopard. Some say he wore a leopard hat, which you can do that research for yourself and find out. All right, I remember over the years, that was mentioned by the teaching of the apostles and the elders. All right, and upon the back of it, 4 wings of a fowl, and the beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. Now this 4th beast represents the Roman Empire. Okay, because what came up after the Greek Empire was the Roman Empire. All right, and it was strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. All right, and devoured and break in pieces and stamped with the residue with the feet of it. Now, Roman Empire, they were known for taxing, these nations that it conquered. All right, which was very, very smart economically, and also they, pretty much got, young boys and trained them up and put them in their military. All right, so it was a vast kingdom indeed. Okay. Excuse me. And strong exceedingly, and a great iron teeth. And then Rome, was known military for its iron. All right, because they used a lot of iron in them. Now other nations, other kingdoms, they use a lot of iron too. But Rome was, when it came to using iron, they were far superior. Okay, and it devoured and break in pieces, and stamped with the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And it being diverse before the other beast before it, because the scriptures tell you in the Maccabees that they actually had a Senate house. All right, and that's pretty much what you have today in even in Babylon, Babylon the Great in America today. And that's how this is the second leg of the Roman Empire. Because why do they have a Senate house? All right, Rome also reverenced the eagle. Why does America reverence the eagle? Okay, why do they have Roman numerals? Okay, so these things, we have to understand that we are living in a time of the second leg of the Roman Empire, man. Okay, it says, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, and I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, and that horn is talking about America. Okay, before whom were the 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. Okay, and that 3 horns plucked up by the roots goes into the 3 wars of independence, or you had the American War of Independence, you had the Spanish American War, the French American War, and the American War of Independence. All right, so these were the 3 horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, right, in this horn were eyes of a man and a mouth speaking great things. All right, which is basically talking about America. All right, and their pride and how they speak great things, and with their technology and You know, we can do this now with technology. We can measure your heart rate. We can, I mean, you got all these stupid devices where you can put a ring on it, can measure every heartbeat, every heart rate. Then they're talking about devices that you can hook up to with their technology. It can tell you if you've got a virus before before it gets too far gone, and so on and so forth. Which anyone that trusts in this man's technology, man, you need your head examined again, because the scripture says never trust thine enemy, and ultimately it's going to lead, to taking that chip. Okay. So the four beasts, so we went through the four beasts. You had the Assyrians, the Babylonians, all right, the Babylonian Empire, the first one. Okay. You had the Medo-Persian Empire, then you had the Greek Empire, and then you have the Roman Empire. All right, and we're living at a time in the second leg of the Roman Empire. Okay, and Lord willing, I can come back with another lesson going into how that deadly wound was healed, and the second leg of the Roman Empire, which is what we're currently living in now. All right, with that, I pray this is an edifying lesson. Ka halali imla Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakal Kudash. And this, ultimately, this is why the apostles always, speak about, that we always supposed to take notes, when we watch these lessons. Okay, because ultimately, it's for edification purposes. All right, this is not for entertainment. It's for edification purposes, which the word edify means to build. Okay, give me a second. I want to see something here. 11. Right, yeah, so that's it. So I'm going to leave it there. And I pray this is an edifying lesson. Shalom to the elect.